What's up? My name is Emmy Lou and I've been a medium for about 7 years now. And before we start today's video, let's just get into my sponsor.
Shut up!
I wish, but I'm manifesting, so yeah. Okay, but for real, today's video, I'm going to be talking about one of my ghost stories where I saw a full apparition of a spirit. So before I tell you the actual story part, I have to give you a little bit of a background. And in my family, I have 4 little cousins that are all boys and they're all a lot younger than me. In today's story, I'm going to be focusing on the older 2. They are 2 brothers. I'm going to change their names for today's video, so I'm going to call them Derek and Robert. I think at the time this story took place, they were around the ages, I think like maybe 6 to 8, and I was well into my teenage years. So every summer, my family would go on a big vacation trip to some sort of amusement park. We were there for I think 2 weeks or something like that. And when this happened, I had to have been about 13 years old. And it has really stuck with me. This is one of my experiences that made me really invested into the supernatural because I had no way to explain it. A lot of ghost stories of when I was younger than this, but this is the first one where I was like, there's no other explanation. I can't explain this off. And it was my sole experience. So we had been at the park for a really long day. We were there from I think sun up to it was dark out when this happened. It was right when the park was closing. So it had been around 10, 11-ish o'clock, I think. Everyone had already left the park and there was this little section before you went up to the campsites. It had a camping store, a few restaurants, and a little arcade. My family, they all decided to go into the camping store. Well, I had decided to stay out with both of my little cousins who were younger than me. And I was sitting on one of the bike racks. So there was where those little bicycle things where you can go and park your little bike and chain it up at. I was leaning on one of the sides and Robert was sitting next to me. We were watching Derek with this light up ball. And I remember him bouncing it really far up and then him just sitting there trying to catch it. And we were just, And I remember turning and looking at Robert to my left of me. We were talking about the bouncy ball that Derek was playing with. And I remember sitting there looking at him, and out of nowhere, he started asking about his mom. He got so worried about where his mom was. Robert was younger than Derek, and this wasn't strange for Robert. Robert, when he was younger, was very, very attached to his mom. He was never not with her. So in this moment, it was completely normal for Robert to be asking about where his mom was. And I was sitting there trying to comfort Robert, being like, your mom just went in the store. She'll be back out in 5-10 minutes. At that time, I didn't want him to go walk in and look for his mom because it's still a public place. I wasn't going to send a little 6 or 7-year-old in there by himself while I was watching the older one. If I went inside, they both had to come with me, Looking at his face and how concerned he was. And as I was telling him, your mom's inside, she'll be out in a few minutes, it's okay, you're with me, she's safe, it's okay. I got sucked right into Derek going, Em! He yelled at me, he was like, Em! And I was like, what? He was like, who are you talking to? And I was like, Robert. And I looked and he wasn't there anymore. He was completely gone. And I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, Robert went in with mom, he's in the store, you're sitting there talking to nobody. It's really weird to me now because when I have that memory and I think back on it, Robert didn't even look like Robert. It was just another little blonde boy with similar features, but it wasn't Robert, which is weird because my brain was just yeah, that's Robert. He's worried about his mom, like always. And then when Derek said that, and then I remember sitting there and I was kind of freaked out. We were at this big amusement park. There was nobody around. It was just me and Derek outside. I was watching him play with a little bouncy ball. Then I watched my little cousin walk out with his mom. I remember just being super freaked out about it. I don't think I told anybody about that, but it was not a malevolent, scary thing that happened. It was literally, I was just sitting there talking to a little boy that was so worried he wanted to find his mom. And I look back on that and it kind of scares me a little bit because I'm like, maybe I should research that park and see if anybody, a little boy passed away there. Oh, that'd be so sad. I don't think I want to do that to myself. I think I might cry. What if it is? I feel every time I do this to myself, it is what it is. And then I'm and then I'm sad. Oh, I don't want to be sad. But yeah, so that's one of my full apparitions. I sat and talked to a little ghost boy. It was very spooky. Actually, no, it wasn't spooky in the moment. It was spooky after I was told that I was talking to myself. I didn't know if there was something wrong with me or if I was seeing ghosts. But obviously, we all know what I think I do. So, Yeah. Anyways, guys, that's all for today's video. If you like content like this, please like and subscribe. It really helps out my channel. And I'm trying to post every single week, whether that be Friday, Saturdays, or Mondays. I'm still figuring out what schedule works best for me and what works best for you guys. And yeah. Anyways, I'm sending you guys all positive love and light and just good energy whenever this video reaches you. And I love you all so much. Bye.